Hey everyone, Rarity Dash here, time for another Patreon-sponsored reaction video. And this one comes to you courtesy of Crimson Melody, who has requested that I react to another Man-at-Arms video. This time it's the one for Sokka's Meteor Sword. So we're going Avatar The Last Airbender here, and we're making the quite memorable weapon that he forged from a meteor in, was the episode called Sokka's Master? I think that sounds right. That is the right episode. That's the same one where he made the sword, is the one where he had the training with that one guy, I think, right? It's been such a long time since I've seen Avatar The Last Airbender now. I don't really rewatch it. I rewatch Korra a lot, but I just can't ever get started on like watching reactions or anything to The Last Airbender. Though I probably should. But I'm definitely excited to see this sword get made and to just see how it turns out. And hopefully it'll be pretty cool. I mean, I'm sure it will be. I mean, these guys, they make good work. That one that I watched the other day for Rose's sword, the Steven Universe one, that really just proved to me how intricate and how good these guys are at what they do. And with that in mind now, I'm definitely... Not that the other ones weren't great as well. The other 2 or 3, I forget how many I've seen now, that I saw before that, they were really excellent too. But that one just, there was just another level of detail to it. And with that in mind now, I'm really excited to see more of their craftsmanship and just what they're capable of producing. And yeah, hopefully it'll be pretty good. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this started. Here we go. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of requests for it. There always is. And, oh, I thought there was going to be more than that. Honestly. It seems like a fairly simple sword. Yeah, it was this episode. It's a cool episode. Oh, we even got the outfit going. That cool,
I've been a blacksmith armorer for over 30 years. I've created weapons for over 200 feature films. This is Man-at-Arms.
A Break Media production.
Hey guys, Tony here, making the Meteor Sword from The Last Airbender. From the show, not the movie.
Yeah,
because it's called the Meteor Sword.
That's an important distinction.
Meteorite.
And not just because the Meteor Sword wasn't in that movie.
From Namibia, from the Gibeon meteorite strike.
Oh, we're using actual meteorite.
Of the Campo de Cielo meteorite from Argentina.
That's awesome.
The chunk I had.
Going for that authenticity.
You figure there's 454 grams to a pound.
I like it.
And that meteorite was worth about $1 a gram. I haven't really had much luck in forging meteorites, so I'm really kind of rolling the dice and hoping it comes out well. This is truly sky metal. It's a iron nickel alloy. There are some stony elements in there. We burned up about $300 in bandsaw blades slicing it up. $1,652 worth of meteorite to put into this blade.
Wow.
I'm going to incorporate 7 slices of meteorite, 14 pieces of 15 and 20 bandsaw blades, and 8 pieces of 1075 spring steel. Laminate those together to have 29 layers.
Okay.
I'll forge that out to a solid homogeneous ingot or billet, and then fold it twice to become 87 layers. And I'll do it again after that's forge welded together to become a total laminate count of 261 layers. I started forging the billet of Damascus.
Oh.
I prefer working with Gibeon Meteor, which comes out of Namibia, Africa. This material is a little bit more prone to fracturing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Cracking and crumbling in there, so I wanted to add some more steel to mix to make it work.
Probably a good call.
I've just folded the 29 layers on themselves with a piece of 3/16 1075 steel in the middle. And then I'm going to laminate 2 pieces of 3/16 1075 on the outside, which is going to add a higher alloy steel to the iron meteorite, which is causing the billet to crumble a little bit.
That gave my initial layer count from 29 layers to 32 layers, and then I folded that 3 times to come up with 96 layers. Folded that again and again afterwards, so we're now at 384 layers.
It is holding together, it is forge welding, and we'll make it into a
taking
sword
shape.
soon.
When I'm forge welding steel into the power hammer, Each time that the dies come down on a hammer, it smacks it and shoots sparks.
Yeah,
everywhere.
I can see that. That's
paper stored underneath the stomp shear, which is near my forge. And I didn't realize there was paper underneath there, so as I was forge welding,
yeah,
I sparked that on there and ignited the paper.
Still on fire!
well, that's unfortunate. Yeah.
I was telling Brian, it's if it's just a paper fire, go in there and stomp it out. He used the fire extinguisher and smoked us out of the shop, so it's always exciting. I forged the blade out to the shape. We've cut the tang. I'm going to weld on a mild steel tang just to thread onto the end of it. I started sanding it down, polishing it up a little bit.
Cool.
And put it in the ferric chloride to etch it and bring out the pattern on it. It's a beautiful pattern. I've thermal cycled it. I've run it through the heat treating furnace 3 times, just stress relieving everything. That will go into the oven again, be brought up to the critical temperature of 1600 degrees, and then quenched in oil and then tempered.
Bronze.
I've also forged the bronze ingot to make the hilt and pommel.
Cool.
Brian has taken that to the mill, milled the slot in the hilt, and also turned the pommel on the lathe and drilled and tapped that. Alicia will be piercing out some lotus flowers in brass, and we'll solder those on top of them. So we'll have the two-tone effect of the gold brass and more reddish bronze underneath for the hilt and pommel. And then the grip will be covered with brown leather, and then put a lighter brown leather wrap over the top in a crisscross pattern. And then we did brass bezels going around the top and bottom to hold everything together.
Cool. Those are neat.
This is right up there with one of my favorite pieces. I really like it. It's
it looks,
a simpler design sword, except for the details I'm putting into it. I like the technical aspect of forging the blade to this many layers and using actual meteorite. That made it really, really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's a beautiful sword. How'd you make your Sokka cosplay there? That's still a question. Yeah, seems pretty sharp. Perfect.
Thanks for watching. Sock it to the subscribe button. In case you're new here, this wasn't the first animated sword I've made. Why not go check out Finn's golden sword in the armory below? And leave a comment below for the cartoon sword I should create next.
Okay. Well, there we go. That was really cool. I mean, that wasn't quite... There wasn't quite as much work into that as the Rose one, or at least as much detail work, but I mean, it still took a lot of work, but I guess there weren't as many steps to show off, but it still was like almost as impressive, just the way it looked in the end. I mean, I think it looked even better, actually. Just the pattern on it, that was beautiful, and just everything looked great on that sword. That is a really, really nice looking weapon. And I mean, they went into how expensive the materials for it were, all that meteorite and whatnot. But which that's the coolest thing, that they actually used real meteorite. I guess you would have to. I mean, it's hard to call it the meteorite sword, even a replica of it, if you don't actually use the meteorite. But yeah, I mean, with how nice that looked, I think you still have a pretty expensive thing if you were going to sell it. That, yeah, not really losing much there. But that was cool. That was really cool. That was definitely one of my favorites of these so far. And yeah, it was just neat. These videos are always really interesting. I'm kind of glad you guys keep requesting them because they're actually pretty fascinating to watch. I mean, and I guess since they do keep coming up, and not just all from the same person either, you guys like the reactions to them. So, yeah. Anyway, don't think I have much else to say. Hope you liked the reaction. Let me know if you did, and see you in the next one.